So then we're going to be doing things like these developmental workshops, focusing on like maybe as simple as like how to throw an event that just like whatever format, whatever kind of stage that you want to set, like how do you throw that? How do you plan it from the beginning to the end? How do you execute it?
I do have some potentially because it's not set in stone yet, but bad news about those 28 Olympics in LA.
Mm.
Right now, breaking is non-included. So could it be included? I think there's people behind the scenes fighting to have it continue with the Olympics, but right now it's Paris, and then that's it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But sorry, I didn't mean
That's okay.
to
No,
take
that's
your
okay.
time,
But regardless of the Olympics, it's like this has opened the doors to like those national levels. Is that it's definitely put more attention. Like obviously Red Bull's been doing this for a very long time, but they're definitely putting more focus on a lot of the breaking, and
right?
like so it's like these opportunities are gonna keep coming. And again, it doesn't have to be Olympics are every 4 years. Like that's like so what's happening within those 4 years around the world? What's happening in your community, in your scene in those
Those
four
would be
years?
way more important than what's happening at
Exactly.
whatever Olympics in whatever nation.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Word
Yeah.
them up, man. Now, so tell us some about some of the people that you're bringing out, man, to be a part of this. I know you got one of the top Bgirls in the world that is coming out to participate in your event. Tell us about that.
Yeah, like so we're just so fortunate, and like again just having this grant, being able to like be like, okay, dream big. What's our list, right? And so we got Bgirl Ayumi from Body Carnival's crew, coming out from Japan. And then we also got Bgirl Sunny from New York. One of a long time like just strong B-girl dancer in North America, right? Coming down to give her experience. So those are the two we have locked down right now. Our third one, we're just trying to lock it down. It's been so challenging. Like our goals are to like try to hit every sort of like major parts of the world. So we have Asia, we have North America, we want someone from Europe, and we had a dope, like arguably the number one B-girl lockdown, but because of the situation in the world, because of the type of passport, it just wasn't happening. So we're just on the drawing board again, trying to find that person. And we reached out, and a lot of people are just either unavailable. A lot of it's unavailable, and part of it is poor timing on our end. Like there is the weekend before is World Games. So, and there's a lot of those B-girls going there, and we're like, yo, like come to Calgary right after, and it's just like it's like too much. For some of them, it's just too much dancing, right? Like
Wow.
they need.
And where's this World Games held?
World Games, Birmingham.
Oh, you talking about
Alabama?
the thing in Alabama? Yeah, I thought that was a
Yeah.
weird place to have a jam. Birmingham, Alabama. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Well, like the World Games alone, right? It's just like it's obviously breaking is just a piece of like all the other sporting events happening, right? But yeah, I get you. At first I was like Birmingham, like Illinois or something like that, like, but there's like Alabama. Oh, okay.
Roll Tide. No, that's not where they're out of, but still,
Yeah.
the Crimson Tide run Alabama. But anyway, now one thing that I wanted to ask you, or another thing actually I wanted to ask you is you guys plan on educating a lot of dancers in how to organize in their cities, right? What does the perfect scenario or the perfect transfer of knowledge and then application from what you guys are showing, what does that look like for Canada specifically?
I think the biggest thing is like, you don't have to throw the biggest thing. Like starting small adds so much value and benefit to your community. It doesn't have to be like what we're doing right here. This took years to get to this point, to be able to to be able to get the right funding to throw something as big as this initiative. But the idea is like, yeah, you can start small and it grows and your community appreciates it. And the way they show it is by they show up, they continue to work on their craft, and they keep showing up to showcase their craft. And you know what? And it's not and the other thing is like, don't do it alone. Don't do this stuff alone. Have a team. Without the right team behind you, like it's challenging. Have the right people supporting you, people with the right ideology. You don't have to be in the same crew, right? Because sometimes that gets in the way, because then you have crew ideology versus like community ideology. Like what's gonna actually benefit your scene? So to be able to branch out, connecting, like just I think that's like the best case scenario for the takeaway is like that if they want to do something, they can actually ask for help and support, and these things can happen, right? It doesn't take a lot to actually execute a lot of the things that we do on the smaller level.
So how do you quiet the haters? Because we live in an age where you can hate and talk junk and you never have to show your face, you never have to put your real name out there. You could just be a tagline on the internet, for people who are like, oh man, they don't know what they're doing. Why are they trying to support this small substrata of the breaking community? Why don't they do this? It's like a lot of why don't and why ain't and why nots that are gonna potentially come your way. Hopefully none of this comes your way, but you never know what people are gonna say, especially if this thing takes off. You know what I'm saying? So what would you say to people who have some kind of a negative view of what you guys are trying to do?
Easy, just be like, then do it better. Like, be our guest.
I like it.
The more that people do things like this, like I don't want to be we don't want to be the ones that have to do all of these things, right? Like we want this to be something that's going to benefit the scene across the country. And if people want to hate on that, it's like, okay, cool, then please do something different, do it better. Like show us what we're missing, and we're not going to hate on you. We're going to come support you, because in the end, as long as the goal is being met, that the community is benefiting from this, and there's going to be growth, and that like down the road we can say like, yo, we did something, we tried something that actually helped our scene, that helped the perspective, like the global perspective of Canada, right? Like then that's, yeah, by all means, hate and just do it, and we'll come and support you.
don't just hate. You got to hate and put your hate into action, right? Because to me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong from what we're saying, because I didn't ask you explicitly, but it seems like your mission is to improve the level and participation of the Canadian breaking scene, and your vision is that at least all of the major cities would have these thriving, breaking destination scenes, and like intense, respectful rivalries between, like the way you guys have the hockey rivalries. It would be like all the cities would have those same like intense rivalries when they hit the floor, like when the professional hockey teams hit the ice. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So that's what I'm hearing, and I think that's an amazing thing. And I don't know. I think that if you're going to be an organizer in whatever scene you're from, your mission and vision, to me, I'm just me, right, should be something along those lines. Mm-hmm. Like of what can I do to improve, not how can I make money,
Yeah, like, Like we hear those stories all the time. Those individuals that might just be doing it for the money, and like, like good. I'm like good for them for like being able to create some sort of business, but at the same time, it's like how are you continuing the growth, right? Not just growth in your pocket, right? Growth of like actual like things that are going to progress forward. How are you helping people stay in the scene, stay connected, right? It's not just about like winning jams and competitions. Like that's one person gets to win a jam every time they go. So how does anybody continue, with breaking and actually do something with it and feel like they can actually continue with it without having to be like, yo, I got to quit breaking because I'm broke. I need to go get a real job. And that's possible, right? But like also the other side is like, how do we like grow those opportunities? Like, how do we get more breakers teaching? How do we get more breakers more opportunities to perform? How do we get more breakers more opportunities to actually travel and do all those things, right? Or start a business, right? Start an idea, and that's wrapped around breaking, right? So it's just that's what these events, that's what organizers should be focusing on, is like not just about like the bottom line of like, okay, we're gonna throw a jam and that's it, right? It's like, okay, like you're throwing a jam, what's the purpose of throwing events? What's your purpose? What drives you? Because if you don't have a proper drive of like of this community building, then you're going to do it for a little bit. And we've seen it. We've seen people come and go, try to throw events, and like don't get me wrong, like we throw a lot of events. We try to throw almost one event every month here in our city for our scene. And whenever like anyone else comes along, it's like, yo, we want to throw an event, like great, how can we help you? Because we don't want to always be the ones that have to do it. So it's like how can we continue this to keep it growing, so that because one day like there's a possibility that we might stop, and then if we stop, like let's just say we stop today, who's going to take it over, right? And then that's some of my fears of the scene is just like gonna like crumble. Yeah, we're gonna keep doing what we're doing. If it grows in that direction, great. If not, we're still gonna keep doing this.
For more quality content from Beyond the Cypher with Illskillz, don't forget to press the like and subscribe buttons. Also, feel free to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Beyond the Cypher. Let us know how we're doing down in the comment section, and to make sure you don't miss anything from the channel, smash that notification bell. We appreciate the love and support. Peace. Until the next episode.